Nowadays, we're seeing fewer and fewer Android tablets being released. They're not as popular as they used to be, but there's one company that has continued to be a pretty strong presence in the market, and that's Lenovo. They've come up with several different types of tablets, and with their latest one, they've kind of toned down the specs over its predecessor, but at the same time too, they've also decreased the price point to make it a little bit more attractive. Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our video review of the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 8-inch. That pricing is key because it's inexpensive for a tablet, a brand new tablet even. At $180, it really undercuts the competition. You're not forking a whole lot of money for a brand new compact tablet. And with that in mind, you kind of get a feeling that there's a simple premise with it. It features the signature design that we're all familiar with, and the new finish gives this tablet a slightly more sophisticated look. In particular, it's with the chassis in the back. You have the textured fabric-like material adorning the body and gives it a really nice refinement that we like. It is indeed heavier than the previous model, but with that, it just gives it more substance, and it definitely feels like a solidly constructed tablet. And finally, it has the usual kickstand in the back. It's spring activated now, and just as its name implies, you could arrange it in various positions. Now, in a stunning turn of events, they've actually made the software more stock Android, and we definitely like that because it's simple and straightforward. Last year, we saw heavy customization from Lenovo, and it's running Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, and arguably the best thing that we like about it is the app panel. I know that's something small, but it's nice because with the previous software, they didn't have that, so it made for just a disorganized home screen with all the icons and everything on there. They've also eliminated some of the features like the enhanced multitasking we saw last year. Instead, everything relies on the usual Google functions, so you have the recent apps menu for that. And most of the native apps on the tablet are the ones that we're familiar with. Despite having a lower capacity battery than last year's model, the 6200 mAh battery in the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 does offer longer longevity than last year's unit. In fact, we're able to get 2 days of normal use using it from a full charge. In our battery benchmark test, it beats its predecessor by a little bit close to 2 hours as it reaches a mark of 12 hours and 22 minutes, which is pretty good for a tablet. The above average battery performance can be attributed to the processor that's under the hood, but unfortunately, it does make for an overall sluggish experience. It's powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 210 chip with 1GB of RAM, so not really heavy on the specs. It does handle most simple tasks with ease, but definitely takes longer for it to handle more complex things. So you'll notice apps taking longer to load, and it's definitely not for gaming. You might not notice it right from the get-go, but the screen here is just subpar compared to the others out there. First and foremost, they've actually lowered the resolution with this model versus last year. So now you have an 8-inch 800 by 1200 IPS LCD display, so it's not quite as sharp. You definitely notice that it's softer with its details. On top of that, it produces some overblown colors. You have also colder 8100 Kelvin color temperature, and it's kind of weak with its brightness output at 345 nits, so it does make for some challenges viewing it outdoors. And the entire thing just has a very soft overall look. One of the major design changes to the tablet relates to the camera. It now has a single one, an 8-megapixel camera. It's on a swivel, it's incorporated into a cylindrical hinge. It's nice, you could adjust it, and you could also use it for selfies, but the quality is just lackluster. So with it, it produces some weak looking details. Images tend to be overexposed, and it does tend to favor a colder color reproduction. Of course, under lower light conditions, don't expect anything better because everything's just subdued. From the dull looking colors to the non-existent details, it's just a wash. When it comes to video recording, it tops out at 720p, but it's also disappointing. On top of the very subdued details, it takes significantly long for it to actually focus. Like I said earlier, if pricing dictates your judgment, then think about picking up the Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 8-inch. It's not bad of an offering considering you're only going to spend $180 for a brand new tablet, and you also get a pretty straightforward Android experience out of the get-go. It's only tolerating the weaker camera performance and just the sluggish nature of the tablet. Now, as an alternative, you might want to think about picking up the Asus ZenPad S 8.0 because for $20 more, you're getting a better spec tablet with an also better performance.